Alright guys, welcome back to another one. In today's video, we've got an insane subject to talk about. Some just out the gate, off the rails, completely batshit crazy news that is kind of hitting headlines at the moment. I thought we'd talk about this because it is to do with Disney. We talk about Disney a little bit here on the channel. Of course, Kingdom Hearts is kind of the running theme. It's not exactly great news. Like I said, it's batshit crazy. There was something that happened in October of last year at Walt Disney World's Disney Springs, where basically a couple went to a restaurant known as the Raglan Road Pub. So the couple ended up dining at the pub for dinner. The wife in the situation made it incredibly clear that she's got both a dairy and nut allergy, and they were assured that no traces of which would be in the food. You know where this is going. They ended up eating dinner. Unfortunately, the wife collapsed, was rushed to hospital, and died from anaphylaxis. So now we're just hearing about this because the husband ended up trying to sue Disney for wrongful death, as they were assured that no traces of these foods that she was allergic to was going to be in the food. Stuff like this happens, a lot in the hospitality industry. If there was a statistic chart of people dying from their allergies from food served throughout restaurants and takeout, I think the stats would be kind of scary. And not that I'm an expert on cases like this happening with specifically Disney, but I'm sure this probably isn't the first time it's happened. This isn't the crazy news. The crazy part about this is how Disney can avoid this becoming a class action lawsuit with a judge, with a jury, and rather, this case needs to go through arbitration, a less formal and cost-effective, faster way of dealing with disputes that's overseen by one person that stands on neutral ground compared to a court case overseen by, of course, a jury and a judge. The husband is seeking about a $50,000 payout due to mental damages, due to time he's lost from not being able to work. So how Disney are able to get away with this just going through arbitration is kind of crazy. It is through the subscriber agreement of Disney Plus. The T's and C's that you accept when you create an account. This is one of those situations of like, oh, maybe I should read them? So the husband had created a Disney Plus account back in 2019, and through doing that, of course, he agreed to the subscriber agreement. It is stated here in Section 7 of the subscriber agreement, dispute resolution, mentioning all disputes between you, including any related disputes involving the Walt Disney Company or its affiliates. It goes on to mention dispute includes any dispute, action, or other controversy, whether based on past, present, or future events between you and us concerning the Disney Plus service or this agreement. But of course, the agreement is also mentioning disputes towards the Walt Disney Company as a whole, which of course Disney World and Disney Springs is a part of. It mentions that in Section C here, the dispute shall be resolved by binding arbitration before a neutral arbitrator whose decision will be final. Disney's lawyers have basically shot back to the lawyers of the husband, mentioning that he cannot sue Disney for wrongful death via a class action lawsuit, and rather it has to go through arbitration because he signed up to Disney Plus. Because due to the agreement of Disney Plus, dispute can also mean anything that happens at Disney's physical location. It is absolutely scary that something like this can actually happen because, most people don't read T's and C's. Like, who's got time to read 10,000 words, more, it's generally more than 10,000 words. That's like light reading. No one's gonna sit down for an afternoon or for a whole day in some cases, like the fucking Disney Plus one, and read through the T's and C's. But this is how these big, multi-billion-dollar megacorporations can catch you out without you even knowing. Now, what's important to know here is, from my understanding, the Raglan Road restaurant is not owned by Disney. The employees or any of the services that are going out of this restaurant have nothing to do with Disney themselves. It's just that the restaurant is on Disney's land. Now, because this is going through arbitration, it's not to say that the husband won't come out of this successful. It's just that there's less of a chance, and it's also a lot more cost effective and a much quicker process for Disney to get something like this over and done with if it goes through arbitration compared to a class action lawsuit. It's definitely more in the husband's best interest, or just a typical civilian winning a case if it goes through court, as of course you've got a jury and more people to come up with the final decision rather than arbitration. So for Disney, it works more in their favor, this going through arbitration, which is probably why they have this within their agreement. This kind of stuff really makes you stop and wonder though, like, what T's and C's have you signed up for that have some absolutely insane stuff where your name is on this long list of like, yeah, okay, this guy's agreed to human experimentation. It seems that at this point, Disney are yet to officially respond to this entire situation, but it is crazy, and it's also a little shitty on Disney's behalf. It's really unfortunate when stuff like this comes out about a company that you have a lot of love and fondness for. I mean, I grew up with Disney. I love a lot of what Disney pumps out. I mean, Kingdom Hearts is my favorite thing of all time, though that is mostly Square Enix. Is it surprising though? No, not really. Like, Disney are this mega Goliath, one of the biggest media companies of all time, and they've existed for over 100 years now. If you think that they've been on this rock for that time without committing some form of corruption or have some sort of sliminess backed behind them, well then you are kidding yourself. If you dive deep enough, yeah, there's a lot of dark stuff that Disney have involved themselves with, but that could be said for a lot of multi-billion-dollar companies. A lot of shitty things happens in the movie industry. A lot of shitty things happens in the video games industry. Shitty things are happening to people all the time, especially when money is in the equation. I really do feel for this guy, and it must be one of the most horrible situations to get a response back saying that, well, no, you cannot take this to court because you signed up to Disney Plus. And when the couple apparently repeatedly told the staff too that, like, hey, look, there cannot be any traces of nuts or dairy in the food, and then you lose like the most important person in your life, I just can't imagine. Like, definitely top 3 worst things of all time. So my heart definitely goes out to that guy. I only hope that something good comes out of this, and that this case, however it might turns out for the benefit of him. $50,000 out of Disney's pocket is not even lint. Not even lint. However, guys, that's all for today. Pretty sad, but yet interesting story nonetheless. I thought I would spread this information just because I'm sure that some of you guys are probably subscribers of Disney Plus. It's worth knowing about something like this. I literally have the subscriber agreement right here in front of me, and I am literally reading these words. It's sort of unbelievable that this is a true and real thing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up with everything going on here. Check out my other social media platforms. A big thank you to my wonderful patrons. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, and we'll talk real soon.